Super Saiyan mode with a lot of speed and a lot of damage. Engaging hype mode. And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, Gungans, droids, I might be a little tangled up right now. To today's video, where we are continuing the Zaalbar Omicron hype, baby, where today we have our part 2 session showing the Zaalbar Omicron, but today in 5v5 with Carth Onasi. And as you can see, this is one of those characters I've neglected for years. What is it now? He came out in 2018, it's like 7 years. Is it time to finally throw on Zetas? Throw on gear? Well, I guess we're about to find out in today's video. In case you missed it, yesterday, card in the top right-hand corner, don't worry, it won't bite you. We went over Zaalbar Omicron with Darth Revan in the context of 3v3. Looking really fun. At the minimum, it's looking like it might force people to just sacrifice a quick battle, dropping some banners potentially. Really looking forward to seeing that in the upcoming 3v3 Grand Arena cycles. But now, in 5v5, how is Carth Onasi with Zaalbar? Well, let's get chatting here. And I've been seeing a lot of chatter about this. I'm gonna leave some infographics in this video. A lot of people have been asking, now that Zaalbar mission aren't trash anymore, how should you be modding them? So big thanks to people for putting together these beautiful graphics for all you guys out there. Basically, Zaalbar, you're gonna want a lot of tenacity sets. You're gonna wanna get as much health on the guy. Pretty straightforward. When it comes to mission, for Darth Revan specifically, you're gonna wanna make her fast, trying to get over that 280 speed threshold and trying to load her up with a lot of damage, because as you saw the other day, once mission deletes herself from the battle, Revan goes Super Saiyan mode with a lot of speed and a lot of damage. So nonetheless, people, looking a lot of fun in 3v3. But now we gotta talk about the 5v5. And at the end of this video, we will see if maybe I will throw a Zeta and upgrade him. Let's get down to business here. Roll the gameplay, Gary. So as always, big thanks to the data miners for putting together this gameplay early on. Boy, it's great seeing that. And to clarify, though, a lot of people were getting excited, like, oh my gosh, did you see the Asajj skin? It was different. Did you see the Han Solo Luke skin? Just to clarify, this little test sandbox mode the data miners made, they can do whatever they want. They can put 20 Darth Banes on a team. Boy, that looks like a lot of fun. So it's not official. This is all data mine gameplay from the data miner Barbarossa messing around and having a good time, which I hope we're all having a good time here. So Carth Onasi, boy, let's summarize this real quick. Is it as cool as Darth Revan's 3v3 performance? Probably not, but I can safely say the older public is no longer like a skippable trash, minimize the investment type of team. I kind of see this kind of elevating itself to sort of a Commander Luke Skywalker type of power, which is something you don't scoff at, but it's also something that you just don't be like, that's trash. This is gonna be a fairly, I would say, somewhere between C, B rank, maybe like Imperial Remnants. And I like the Imperial Remnants of Enoch. Tons of fun. That's what we're seeing here. We're gonna be seeing throughout the variety of this gameplay here today, how Carth, with the older public, we're able to take down things like, or shut down, I should say. This is all from the defensive standpoint. There's a couple of caveats that we're gonna break down here. But on the defensive side of things, causing complications for like a General Anakin Skywalker, maybe Commander Luke Skywalker, Qui-Gon Jinn. Kind of interesting, right? Not like before where you're able to just get Kylo Ren and he would just go solo mode. Or Malik solo. I don't think that's gonna be afforded to this anymore. So you gotta be a little bit more serious taking him down, but I don't think this is gonna be some god tier lineup yet. And let's talk about those caveats before we kind of go more into the individual nuances of all these different battles here. With this lineup right here, we're assuming, and majority of this gameplay is basically this lineup with Carth, Mission, Zaalbar, Jolie, and Juhani, which yes, I had to remind myself she does have a taunt, but you know what? I might have to delete that information because it seems like Juhani might still be the weak link for this team. Funny enough, there might be a better option. So keep in mind, what we're seeing here today is assuming this is the standard lineup. It could be something else. Maybe Jedi Revan goes in place of Juhani. T3 and 4, maybe Shorty. So this could drastically change if those lineups do better. So again, we gotta wait till 5v5 Grand Arena comes back around, but just something to keep in the back of your noggin that this could be a lot better than what we're currently seeing right now. But anyways, getting back to business, we got to kind of remind ourselves what the Carth Onasi lead does. And as you can see, I never applied the Zeta. I never bought into the hype. It was such a short-lasting team in this game. There really wasn't much going on. But now that we're flipping our context over here, we're going to get the Soldier of the Old Republic in the leadership spot. Old Republic allies are going to get 30% potency, tenacity, critical avoidance, and whenever enemies afflicted with damage over time, all the Old Republic members get 3% health and protection. And then when Old Republic allies use their basic ability during their turn, they have an 80% chance to call another Old Republic ally to assist, dealing 50% less damage. But as you can see here, the Zeta basically just gives you that heal and protection recovery, which is like, whatever, it wasn't a big deal before. Well, now the deal is being altered, dare I say, because of Zaalbar. Now, we probably read the Zaalbar kit like a bajillion times this week already. I know I've been having a good time just kind of thinking about what this looks like from a practical perspective, but again, we don't need to be thinking because we have the gameplay showing right now. Inside the Grand Arena experience, while in 5v5, if all allies are light side Old Republic, and the leader is not a Jedi, so keep this in mind. Unlike the 3v3 performance with Darth Revan, where his Omicron for 3v3 prevents it from working if number one, Darth Revan and Mission aren't on the team, but furthermore, if there's a Galactic Legend enemy. Some key difference right there, whereas in 5v5, if you do come across a Galactic Legend, you decide to use this, it doesn't turn off the Omicron. Maybe that's the developer's way of saying they kind of knew that the Revan is going to be a little bit crazier with the absurd amounts of speed and damage he can get. This, I think, might be saying that they're not as concerned, but who knows? We might get a few GL counters on us. I'm not expecting it too much, but you know, I won't be too mad about it. In the 5v5, Grand Arenas, all allies light side, Old Republic, and the leader's not a Jedi, so no Bastila, no Jedi Knight Revan. Allies are immune to daze and expose. So at the minimum, especially before we get to this, Zaalbar makes basically defense up and stealth a non-usable thing. So we're basically at least shutting down the Bad Batch. But furthermore, at the start of the battle, each turn, allies gain 20% defense and tenacity for each debuff until the end of the turn. Ooh, okay, but we gotta keep going on, people. Furthermore, what we got going on, whenever another ally taunts in, yes, I know this is about Juhani, but you know what? It might not even matter. Whenever another ally taunts, so not Zaalbar, they're gonna dispel it, take a bonus turn, gain 400% offense, stacking until the end of the encounter, or at the start of a Galactic Legends turn. So this is supposed to be for Juhani. For all our Juhani mommies out there, I know I had to remind myself because I used Juhani probably a total of 2 times in the past 10 years in Grand Arena specifically. Basically, Juhani does have a taunt on this ability, Boastful Provocation, where it's a 4-turn taunt, but basically Zaalbar says, nah, bro, I'm gonna do all the taunting, you just take your bonus turn, and basically it's trying to get Remorseful Thrash, or Trash, as I like to say, allows her to get out there and do her AoE ability, being able to allow her to recover health and protection. It seems like this is still not incredibly beneficial for the team. It seems like there might be some other Old Republic members that could be nicer. I mean, it's great that at least she has a cleanse. That is kind of nice, but you know, there might be other ways to get cleanses out there. So I'm not too sure about this. Of course, we all know Juhani's great inside of Territory Wars, and no one's arguing about that. For the longest time, I kept assuming she was taunting because I thought she was basically useless. I thought she was only taunting because of Star Killer's Omicron. She can taunt on herself. It's just not incredibly helpful. So anyways, that's, I think, the biggest criticism I'm seeing right now in terms of Juhani on this lineup. That bonus turn, 40% damage. I mean, here's the thing. Sometimes big percentages can make it seem like it's a lot more powerful than this. If I said you're getting a 400% raise, you might be like, wow, that's awesome. But if you're only making 50 cents an hour, 400% of 50 cents isn't a lot. But if you had, let's say, $50 an hour, okay, 400% might be a little bit nicer. Am I right? But furthermore, people, besides that, what we have here, they are going to get inflictive damage over time. Yeah. If Jolie Bindo, this is probably the biggest thing right here that you can really feel. If Jolie Bindo is an ally, that looks pretty bad, revives all defeated allies. And then these bonuses persist if Zaalbar is defeated. So I want to clarify something. There seemed to be a lot of confusion when we were talking about this Omicron in the context of 3v3. People were assuming, because Mission, she sacrificed herself at the very beginning, right? People assumed that after the battle is over, all those benefits still continue to the next battle. That's not how this works, unless there's a bugged interaction. I know there's some weird stuff with Cal and Fulcrum Ahsoka and Omicrons and Territories. different thing. But all that's saying is in the current battle, if they're defeated in the current battle, the effects are still going to persist. But let's say, for example, especially in the 3v3 context, if you had mission, sacrifice yourself, the next battle, you don't got to worry about it anymore. There is no mission to get all the stat bonuses. Other examples, Malicos, he's got unique abilities that persist even when he's defeated. But as a lot of you guys know, if you do one battle, you nuke out Malicos and you do a cleanup, Malicos unique doesn't exist anymore. So there was a lot of confusion regarding that. It's just talk about the context of this specific battle. So in the situation that the Zaalbar gets defeated, all this Omicron stuff for the light side Old Republic still remains active, giving you a chance to let the team benefit from it. Maybe Jolie gets the revive. So it's basically saying if Zaalbar gets defeated, Jolie can still revive everybody and whatnot. So hopefully that clarifies some things. I mean, yeah, this game would be a whole lot different if, let's say, for example, you defeated the leader and the leader ability was still active in the next battle. Or, for example, things like Malicos, his unique would still be active even into the next battle. Doesn't work like that in this game yet. But nonetheless, what we're basically seeing throughout the course of all this gameplay, it does all right against kind of those, I'd say, mid-core teams. Like, we're seeing some Commander Lukes that can maybe struggle up against this. As we said, maybe some General Anakin Skywalker, which again, that's not all that bad. Being able to, I know Gas isn't the hottest kid on the block anymore in this game, but nonetheless, even he's still a hot shot in my heart, right? But we're seeing that they're able to at least not be trashed, be soloed by a Malik, be soloed by a Kylo Ren. But by no means are they going to be like the best new team on the block. We have things like Night Sisters. It looks like just a standard Towson team can maybe still win. Rogue One can maybe still work their way through it. And then your other things you might have like Afra, which again, Afra is kind of a big ticket item, so I can't be too mad about that. So it's kind of one of those weird things where it's not a complete pushover, but it's not completely game changing. And I'm thinking from a Kyber 1 perspective, keep that in mind. When I'm thinking about the overall just span of the game, I would love to have this if I was, let's say, a newer mid-game player. You're forced to build up all the Old Republic stuff for the Malik event, and especially after going through all the torture that Malik puts you through, you'd want to still be able to use that team where realistically, Old Republic, they're not a very useful team after you get Malik. You just kind of keep them at the low gear 12s, gear 11, and you don't want to touch their gear levels and Zetas ever again. Now, I would use this. It kind of feels like a Commander Luke Skywalker-ish team. And remember, all this gameplay that we're showing, it might not even be the ideal lineup. Maybe there's something better than Juhan in there. And maybe there's a lot of other offensive things that we might be able to do. But at the end of the day, when I talked about Darth Revan with Zaalbar, I think that's going to be a good defensive option, if assuming there's not going to be something super cheesy. It looks like Qui-Gon Jinn might be able to wiggle his way through a victory potentially. But if someone's got to drop a battle to then get rid of mission and then just come in next time and then just get the cleanup, that's banners being dropped. And you guys know a lot of grand arenas nowadays, people, one drop battle can really define a win for lots of people, especially when people are trying to be hyper efficient. So we got to wait and see if that's going to really pan out. But when it comes to cards, I'm feeling with what I'm seeing right now, barring Datacrons, barring maybe something that's a bit more optimal potentially with the lineup, I'm not seeing myself throwing it on defense in a Kyber 1 perspective. Kyber 1, basically, it's all just some absurd Datacron, a bunch of Galactic Legends, maybe a Conquest unit, and, other Legendaries and Epic Confrontations. We don't really get to see too much room like this, but you never know. There's going to be a crazy Datacron that might really jump this up. But nonetheless, I'm still a big fan of this, even though this might not be the craziest, 5v5 performance. It's taking a team that was heavily neglected, not loved, and it's a usable team nowadays. And again, I think we're only scratching the surface, my friends. Can you feel that scratch, scratch, scratch? I feel that victory on the other side of things. But you guys let me know. You see the same gameplay that I'm presenting to you guys. Maybe you guys got another perspective that you want to throw out there. Leave it down below. I love reading your guys' comments, getting the dialogue going on between us. And, things could be a lot better than what we're seeing right now. But the question is now, am I going to upgrade Carth Onasi? Am I going to upgrade that Zeta? And you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I am going to do it because you know why? Hold on. I got to put the sound effects on. How can I? No, we got to have sound effects on. How am I supposed to do this without us hearing the beautiful sounds? There we go. Now we're up and running. Bring them back on over here. Here's why I am going to upgrade him. I want to give CG incentive, even though they don't really need my money, or they don't, they don't need it. They don't need my stuff. They're gonna do it regardless of what I say, probably. But I just want to do it because I'm a big fan of Omicrons that live to old legacy teams. I've always wanted to upgrade Carth Onasi. Like there's no reason to. And you know what? Even though I don't think this is gonna be the next biggest team ever, I can maybe find a way to use this on offense. If I can use this to beat a gas team that sometimes shows head, hey, you know what? Let's do it. So you know what? Yes. I am going to apply the gear. Join with me, my friends. After how many years? This guy came out in 2018. It has been 7 years almost later. And it's finally time to rise from the trash. You are no longer trash. You are now smash. And there we go, people. And you know what? I will slap on that Zeta as well. There we go, people. I gotta say, when I've been scrolling through my roster, it's been kind of annoying me. I've been looking for a reason to upgrade him. I didn't buy the Lightspeed bundles, and I'm like, I want him to earn it, and I think he's earned it at the end of the day in my heart. So I'm a happy person. Let me know if you guys plan on upgrading him as well. So that's gonna wrap it up for today, people. I'm looking forward to these next 3v3s, 5v5 Grand Arenas. People are gonna have their eyes laser focused in on Zaalbar, and we're gonna see how amazing this thing really is once it's out there in the wild for us to battle against and use. Leave that like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing. And you know the drill. Always remember, it's great to be in the Empire today. Oh, it's great to be in the Empire today. The sun never sets.